Hello everyone. 3 items today. First, for the last several days there's been a very large gathering in Davos, Switzerland for the World Economic Forum, an annual event where the potentates and hotshots and chief executive officers of the multinational corporations in the world get together to tell us how they're saving the world. Some would say wrecking the world. In any event, there are always documents which emerge when the World Economic Forum meets, and the first I saw was from Bill Gates, his annual letter, where he quite appropriately debunked the myths around poverty. It was a respectable piece of work, not exactly riveting, but respectable. And along with it came an astonishing monograph from Oxfam, indicating that the 85 richest men in the world, they're all men of course, have wealth equivalent to the bottom half of the world's population. That is to say, 85 men with accumulated wealth equivalent to 3.5 billion people and their collective wealth. It's unbelievable. And Oxfam made the point that it was part of an accelerating and galloping inequality that would redefine the meaning of poverty in the future and compromise the existence of the planet. Of course, the word equality, I'm not even sure it emerges in Bill Gates's letter. But then, why should it emerge? I mean, when you're having caviar and lamb, presumably medium rare, inequality is not a subject of discussion. Then number 2. There was a fascinating moment in the UN last week, which has never happened before, where the Committee on the Rights of the Child, formed under the Convention on the Rights of the Child, was cross-examining, investigating, interrogating the Vatican, the Holy See, on the pattern of grotesque child sexual and physical abuse all over the world by Roman Catholic clerics in the last several decades, to put it accurately. Now, the Holy See did not get off the hook. They were cross-examined mercilessly. It was quite wonderful. But, you know, what's in my mind is, why is the Holy See at the UN at all? Why does the Vatican have virtual state authority as a permanent observer? The only other entity that has permanent observer status is the Palestinian Authority. And that makes some sense. But the Vatican? Why? Why one religion at the United Nations with that kind of right to intercede in debates and give opinions? Look, this is a group which is anti-women, anti-gay, anti-sexual and reproductive health, anti-condoms, which compromises work in HIV and AIDS. Someone's got to explain to me why the Vatican has this status at the United Nations. And finally, last week you will recall that I said the Minister of Health in South Africa went ballistic around the proposition that a group of pharmaceutical companies in the United States was colluding with pharmaceutical companies in South Africa against the patent reform process, doing it all behind the scenes in a conspiratorial fashion, which the Minister of Health said would amount to mass murder down the road. And everybody thereafter said nonsense, and they all said it wasn't real. And then there emerged, miraculously, a note written by an executive of Merck showing that it was all real, and that it was being orchestrated by a PR firm named PAE in the United States with pharmaceutical companies, working with pharmaceutical companies in South Africa to undermine the cost of drugs, to keep the costs high. It's really beyond belief. You know, the pharmaceutical industry exists for 3 purposes. First, to make drugs, which we all need. Second, to salivate over profits. And third, to lie. That was last week. I'm Stephen Lewis.